The only way to be a true artist is to work day and night. Do you have any idea how lonely that is? No one can help you. You have to do it on your own.
I need to be more offensive, abhorrent. I need my work to shock.
He's a complete degenerate.
Pablo Picasso?
We are taking you for questioning.
I worked hard to get here, and I am not going to let you or anyone else make a mess of it.
I mean, we get a sense there of just how epic this season is. I mean, much like the last season. Ken and Ron, talk us through the philosophy of genius more broadly, and why Picasso this year?
Well, I think, you know, of course, we did Einstein last year, and we were really excited to tell that story, and I think there was a desire on the part of the network to continue this as a franchise. And so, you know, there were sort of three requirements kind of for a season two, which was, one, can we, is someone inarguably a genius, undeniably a genius. Then did they live a life that was big enough and broad enough to tell 10 hours of drama, which is a lot of story to tell? And thirdly, is it someone that for a international audience, which Nat Geo has, all over the world, is it a figure that is going to spark interest immediately in an audience? And the other big thing was we didn't want to do another scientist. We didn't want to say that genius is only about scientists. And so we were really interested, I think, in doing a visual artist, and it seemed obvious that Picasso was then that choice.
Yeah, and I would just second the fact that Nat Geo really thinks globally in terms of the reach of the programming that they put on. And the other thing is that it's very exciting because I think Nat Geo is so much the right network for this kind of show, and it's unique in a lot of ways because of course they want the drama, and we as storytellers want to, we want to give that to the audience, but it is sort of incumbent upon us and to really delve into the detail and deal with the genius, whether that's the art or the science or hopefully later we'll if this keeps going it'll be music and literature and all forms of genius.
And geniuses take on a kind of mythic status, and certainly that's very true of Picasso. How do you break through that and try and figure out who this man is?
In my particular case, what I knew I had to do from the beginning is just to metaphorically kill myself. I had to kill Antonio Banderas in order to start constructing, building somebody new. Somebody new that I know since I was born, because I was born in the same town that he was born, and he has been in my mind for a long time. But I had to just get away that idea that I know audiences have about me doing certain characters, certain people. And so it was a challenge in that way.
It was so nice to have somebody like Antonio, who's from Malaga and who knows Picasso so well, because it really let me see the man behind the genius, because genius can be a very intimidating thing to try to bring to set. But what this series does so well is it focuses on the people and the people around the genius, and having Antonio with that insight into who Picasso was and what it is like to be a Malagueño and what that Andalusian culture is, was really a very quick in, which is a rare experience for somebody like me to have.
Marie-Thérèse Walter, who I play, she was with Picasso for a good 9 years. They had a beautiful daughter together called Maya. They met when Picasso was still married to Olga. She was a great source of inspiration for him. I think, some of his most famous works were of her. Every time he painted her, it was always very sunshiny and happy, and
I'm the dark one.
And she's the dark one. She's the yin to the yang. Yeah, exactly.
I play Dora Maar, who was a very talented photographer and artist in her own right, but also a muse of Picasso's. She's known as his weeping woman. Poppy and I have a nice sort of fight.
They're two of my collateral damages.
Yeah.
With Ken and the group that he's assembled with the DP, the camera, the makeup, the costumes, a lot of those people are the same. And what that does, there are just a bunch of people who are really brilliant at what they do. They're incredibly hard workers because it's a lot. Just a lot. They challenge you and they make you better, and because you want to not only do well for the story, for Picasso, for Ken, but also for Davina, and you don't want to mess up their work. And I also had that comfort that you get with and the kind of shorthand that starts developing. I'm very grateful for as an actor.